Welcome everyone to our Global Wellness Day, 12 hours of transformation online celebrations presented by Chiva-som and Zulal Wellness Resort by Chiva-som. And nice seeing you again for some of our guests who participated in our previous classes and workshops. Thank you for still staying with us. This seminar is entitled 5 Therapies of Traditional Arabic and Islamic Medicine to Practice at Home. I am Gelrin Sukhum Chitanon, Head of Communications at Chiva-som, and I am your host today. This session will be led by Dr. Purnima Siddhanta. She is a holistic manager at Zulal Wellness Resort, and today she will discuss 5 therapies of traditional Arabic and Islamic medicine to practice at home. This is her second session of today's event. With 17 years of extensive experiences as a Ayurvedic professional and specialist, Dr. Purnima has held key positions at some of the world's leading hospital and wellness institutes. Her significant experience has garnered her some major attributes, particularly when it comes to working with chronic illnesses. She holds an MD degree in alternative medicine along with expertise as a counseling practitioner. Dr. Purnima is passionate about introducing the concept of wellness practices into her guests' daily lives and help them reach their optimum health goal. Welcome back, Dr. Purnima. Nice seeing you again. Thank you.
Welcome everyone again, and greetings from Zulal Wellness Resort. My name is Purnima Siddhanta, and I am the holistic manager at Zulal Wellness Resort. In this session, I will be talking about traditional Arabic Islamic medicine and its 5 applications, 5 therapies that you can do at home and can be benefited by. So before starting the therapies, I will first start with introduction of traditional Arabic Islamic medicine. The first verse in this book, which is called the Canon of Medicine, Kanun fi al-Tib, the medicine which it defines is the science by which we learn the various states of human body, when it is in health and when not in health, and also the means by which health is likely to be lost, and when lost is likely to be restored to health. In other words, it is the art whereby health, which is the beauty of the body, long hair, clear complexion, fragrance, and form of the body, is conserved, and the art whereby it is restored after being lost. If you see this definition of medicine, it clearly depicts what wellness should be, what wellness is. So we can see that in traditional Arabic Islamic medicine's representative book written by Ibn Sina, the Canon of Medicine, depicts medicine as a state of wellness. Medicine which can be used in health, which can be used when the body is not in health, and also when there is need of restoration, how we can restore our body even after being lost. So this is a perfect definition of medicine with integration of wellness. As I was talking about this book, The Canon of Medicine, Al-Kanun fi al-Tib, written by Avicenna or Ibn Sina, this medicine says the definition of Tame will be the study and practice of medicine. Earlier was understood as act of piety, or it was a principle of Iman, which was based on Iman, faith, and people's trust, which is called Tawakkul. In traditional Arabic medicine, both of these, the faith, the trust, and the medicine are integrated, and it becomes a system of healing practiced since antiquity in the Arab world within the context of religious influences of Islam, and to be comprised of medicinal herbs, dietary practices, mind-body practices, spiritual healing, and applied therapy. These are the 5 categories where the applications of TAIM, traditional Arabic Islamic medicines, comes, and today we will be discussing about that. In this particular book, in this session, I will be talking around this book only, and it is said in this book that the body needs to be revived when it is not in health and needs to be guarded when it is in health. So in this whole depiction of medicine and usage of medicine as traditional and as in as a social science, it says that there are 7 guarding factors that the medicine that we should be doing. These are called 7 doctrines of Ibn Sina. And from my side, for me, these are the doctrines. This is the doctrine where it depicts wellness so well that if we follow all these, we will see that we anyways get longevity, we are rejuvenated, and we know what is happening in our body. As we know that traditional medicines are on the philosophy of humors and temperaments. As per that, there are 4 humors which are called blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm, and 4 temperaments which is hot, cold, dry, and wet. So these doctrines say that equilibrium of temperament is very important to maintain health. If someone is hot inside, which is like it's either yellow bile, who are bilious in their nature, the temperament of the body, the innate heat is high. If they are doing something which includes cooling effects, which is if they are drinking cold water again and again, and they are drinking cold foods, which is against their body, it will create some inequilibrium in the body and in temperament of body. So what will happen is they will have indigestion, and in that case, when the indigestion happens, then there will be humors will be changed from their original position, and disease will come. Like if I say that lettuce is a cold substance, if someone wants to eat less lettuce, then if it is added with onion, then the temperament of lettuce changes. And it is well accepted in the body with the bilious nature because it becomes warm and towards hotter side. So this is how we have to see that equilibrium of temperament is maintained. Selection of articles of food and drink. Same, if we are eating as per our body, then it is beneficial for the body. But if we are eating some things which our body feels heavy after, which we feel that it's not digested well, or which we feel we are eating out of liking, like we want to eat it, but we don't really need it, even if it is high protein diet or anything that we don't need it, and we are eating it just for the sake of eating, or we are attracted by it, it is definitely going to create unhealthy conditions in the body. Evacuation of effete matter. This is the most important doctrine of Ibn Sina, because evacuation of effete matter is very important, because if the stomach is not cleaned properly, if there is constipation, then the the material that should be released from the body is kept inside the body, and then fermentation is proceeded. Absorption of more water than required is proceeded, and that causes dryness in the body, and that constipation may cause other diseases which may reduce the longevity of the person. Safeguarding the composite. This says that this body has to be safeguarded from extraneous factors, which is if there is hot outside, we know that it is very hot, there are hot winds are happening outside, and if we go out without guarding ourselves, if there's very important task and we have to go, but we go without guarding ourselves, that hotness is going to create dryness inside the body for sure, and that may go on to heat stroke, and body's humors may dry up, and that may make us weak. It can create syncope, it can create any other disease, any other problems in the body. So this is a simple example, but safeguarding our bodies from the environment, from the factors, from poisons, from pollutions is very important. Maintaining purity of air respired. This is the burning factor of today. We know that how if the air is not pure, how many diseases it can create. It can create asthma, it can create poisoning, it can create allergies, it can create these days corona. So we know that he was so right in that predicting that maintaining purity of air respired is important, because it is the air where the putrefaction starts. If the soil is moist and it's starting with putrefaction, this will be carried through air to the other parts. So this putrefaction has to be stopped, and this maintaining purity of air is important. So what we respire, that air changes into our breath. So that has to be maintained. So air should be pure, it should be clean. Guarding against extraneous contingencies is, again, if there we know that there is a pathogen, there is a disease, there is a contamination happening, and we willfully go there, like if we are not wearing masks in these days, so we know that we are inviting something which is unwanted in the form of virus. So he was so right in this, in so many years back, it was 700 BC, he was so right that guarding against extraneous contingencies is important to maintain wellness. Moderation in regards to movements of body and motions of mind. This is my favorite because it is important to do things in moderation. People who are thinkers, who are thinking all the time, and they take stress with every small thing and they become worried, they reduce their life's years. People who do exercises and they are attracted to exercises and the high that they get from that, and they go on doing things which causes which are above their body's limit. If you want to do something which is above your body's limit, you can do it, but you have to create stamina for that. If without creating stamina you start to experiment, that creates lacerations, that creates injury to the body's system, and that is what is not invited. That is not wellness. So moderation is very important in every field of wellness. So these 7 doctrines of Ibn Sina were the base of Tame's wellness concept. So now I will go on to how wellness concepts of Tame are applied. First wellness concept of Tame definitely is clean air, because when we inspire air, it becomes breath. And that breath goes into the lungs and cleans out the innate heat and takes it out in the form of exhalation. So when we exhale, the innate heat which was not used, which was not required, heat loss happens. If the air that we have respired is not clean and it is already heavy, then the function that it was supposed to do will not happen, and it will be trapped, and the breathing out will be the breath which will be either cold, or it will not be completely purified from inside, and it will not be the factor that we wanted to get out. And that the clogging of the lungs, the clogging of the cells will create some contingencies, which is allergies may be created, heat may be trapped, so bronchitis may happen, so hypertension of the pulmonary hypertension may happen. So it depends on air, how we how our breath is and how clean the air is. So to maintain good life, it is very important that the air is clean. And how do we maintain that? We maintain this with green spaces, we maintain this with gardens, we plant trees, and we in this global trends, this is a new concept that wellness spaces are created which are green, which are architectured for the theme of wellness. So these green spaces are the perfect example for clean air. So there you can sit, you can breathe, you can respire the air which is clean and which will be beneficial for you. So this is the one of the wellness concepts of Tame. Second wellness concept of Tame is evacuation and retention. Evacuation of retention goes directly to the digestive system, where we are supposed to eat favorable things which are easily digestible for us, for our body. And then after sometimes when the nutrients are taken, are absorbed, nice blood is formed, then the nutrients are retained and the effete matter is evacuated. This is the perfect working digestive system. So when we eat something which is good in nutrition, if I take an example of garlic, garlic is very heated substance. It is more hot than human body. But when we eat it, it contributes to the purification of blood. It takes care of the cholesterol of the blood, and it thins the blood. So it dilutes the blood. So this garlic, when eaten in right quantities, helps very much for the wellness of the body. But if someone is bilious in nature and he eats lot of garlic, every food has garlic, that is going to add to the heat of the body and it will not be evacuated. So there will be acidity, there will be gases, there will be fermentation in the body. So evacuation and retention are the functions of the functions which we have to see that it is done perfectly. So the intestines are cleaned properly, there is fiber in the food, so we eat foods which are nutritious like egg. We eat food which are less nutrients, but they act in evacuation process, which is like fruits. Fruits are less nutrient as per traditional Arabic Islamic medicine's concept, but they add to the evacuation, they add to the cleansing of the body. So that's how this balance works very well for the maintenance of wellness. And that is very for today's wellness, if we see, this is the most important thing, because we see, because of increasing stress, because of increasing changing in lifestyle, this process has been hampered since with small children to old age. So this is something, it's a very good wellness concept of traditional Arabic Islamic medicine. Mental movement and rest. Mental movement is directly connected to the air we respire. And if our mental movement is composed, if it is soft, if it is taken care of, then the effect of it is goes to air breath also, to our breath also. If we are angry, our breath goes outwards. We breathe very fast and the breath, the heat goes outwards. If we are in anger or we are in fear, the breath, the breathing process becomes fast, but it goes inside. The breath becomes deep. So how we feel, the emotions, they go directly to the breathing and they directly connect to the state of mind. So it is very important that if there is some stress or if there is any kind of emotion, we know how to ground ourselves. So grounding ourselves, earthing ourselves is very important, and that can be done through meditative practicing, through forest walking, through beach walking, through bathing. Many activities are there which help us in grounding. Even if we are sitting in a garden, then also this helps us to maintain the mental movement, and that is something which leads to rest, and this in totality makes us well. Diet and nutrition, if it goes on with the evacuation process also. So if we eat which is according to our body, which is according to the seasons, and which is local, it is beneficial for the body. But if I am sitting in here and my food is imported from 3 months back, and it started from that country to this country and took 3 months, the nutrients are lost. And still we are eating something which we feel that it's very good nutrition, but actually it is not. So eating local, eating soft foods, and eating what is fresh is very important to get proper nutrition. Physical movements as per our body's conditions is very important, because physical movements in any kind of exercise raises the heat in the body. And after that, if we rest, that conserves the coolness of the body. So when the heat is rest, the body is actively metabolizing things. And when after that rest comes, then the cooling effect happens, and whatever we metabolized, it used in the body. So it is very important to understand that after every exercise, rest and cooling down is important. We can't be active all the time and don't think that rest is important, and slowly the body goes dry and the muscles start tearing down. So this wellness concept of traditional medicine, it says that with physical movement, rest is important as well. So we generate heat, we keep the heat inside to work to give longevity to metabolize our digestive foods, but we rest to cool the body down so that there is an equilibrium created. Sleep and wakefulness, today's life, this is the most important factor in people's life, because of increasing competitions, because of increasing diseases, because of uh, especially these days when someone is trapped inside, they are not going out. Sleep is directly related to our health. If person is not sleeping properly, he is not awake fully. So wakefulness, too much of wakefulness creates dryness in the body. So sleep is a most important factor, because whatever we did, whatever we ate, whatever exercises we did, the heat, the nutrients we created, it is during sleep that it is distributed to the body and body gets nourishment. Sleep helps us to forget. Sleep helps us to rejuvenate. So whatever happens, the trauma, the shocks, the stress of the day, if there is proper sleep, we can take care of that. But if there is no sleep, or if there is disturbance in sleep and we are tossing and turning, this creates excess of wakefulness, and excess of wakefulness is drying for the body, and drying of the body means that body is aging. So it is a well established factors, and we all know that sleep is most important factor of rejuvenation for wellness. If we are in this wellness field, we ask people, what is it that you want at the end of the day? Their answer will be, I want to sleep peacefully. And that is what the end result of wellness means, that if I sleep properly at night, my body is rejuvenated. I am all set to work, think, and progress. But if that thing is not done, if the sleep is not obtained, then there are other actions which happen. Depressions happen, anxieties happen, bad decisions happen, indigestion happen, and all of these arena of whole plethora of things come in. So this is the most important thing in life. So all these wellness concepts of TAME should be practiced in everyday life, and we should see that we are maintaining a proper balance and proper moderation of all these things. Since this topic is about understanding TAME and 5 things that you should be doing, my first tip, my first suggestion is a weight loss drink. This drink is based on Unani medicine. 1 cup of water, 5 grams of cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon of white cumin seeds. You just have to take these and soak cinnamon and cumin seeds in a cup of water and let it seep throughout the night. In the morning, take this water and add some warm water to it, or heat the water for 2 minutes. Strain it into the cup. It shouldn't be hot, it should be warm. This has to be taken care of because we will be adding honey into it. So add a tablespoon of honey and a juice of half a lemon to it and drink it empty stomach. This drink has immense effect on reducing cholesterol of the body, reducing adiposity of the body, and also white cumin seeds are rich in iron. So it adds to the blood, dam of the body. So when the blood is moderated, when the blood is taken care of, and the congestion of blood is reduced, then the body's metabolism goes up. So empty stomach every day in the morning, this is a very good drink to be taken instead of tea with milk and sugar, which can be done later, but this should be the first thing that we do in the morning. Traditional herbs will be my next step, which is 3 herbs that are my favorite. One is black seed, Nigella sativa. This is the seed which is anti-diabetic in nature. It balances the hormone and it is immune boosting. In religious texts, it is said that there is no disease that this seed cannot treat, and it is a sunnah practice. So this seed is a miracle seed, and if you use this early morning, if you don't want that drink to drink, then this powder of these seeds in early morning can give you all these results. It will start slowly metabolizing the insulins. It will start working on the hormones. And this seed also is a very good galactogone. So ladies who have delivered a baby and their milk is very low in quality and quantity both, this herb will, this seed will help them in that also. But then in that case, they have to take it with some food in the morning, not totally empty stomach. Saffron, we know that this is a life-giving, it's a rejuvenating herb. It is antioxidant. I call it a sunshine spice. It is aphrodisiac in nature. A pinch of saffron in milk before bed ensures that the sleep is good. It is balancing the hormones. It works on the complexion. That is why I call it a sunshine spice, because it brightens the complexion. We all love chocolate. We all love coffee. For that, to replace the cocoa, to replace the chocolate, these carob seeds are a good replacement of that. So it is anti-inflammatory in nature, and it is caffeine free. So someone who wants to reduce on coffee, they can go on to carob seeds, because they are anti-aging in their effect. They have good nutrients in it, and it tastes almost near the coffee and chocolate. So all these three, if you want to include them in your daily life in any which way, will be a good idea. If you're making a dessert, you can add saffron to it. If you're making hot chocolate, you want hot chocolate, you can have hot carob seeds chocolate, something like that. So this can be replaced that way. Wellness concept, the most wonderful wellness concept in traditional Arabic medicine, Persian medicine, is usage of baths, because bath is a form of lymphatic drainage of the body. It works in dissipating the heat of the body, and it works in giving moisture to the body. But with bath, as a tip, if you want to increase your weight, take the bath after you eat. But if you want to reduce your weight, then to reduce fat, and if you want to reduce your congestion of humors, you want to resolve your humors, you should bath while you are fasting. And you should eat at least 1 hour after fasting, after bath, and you should stay long time in the bath, because if you stay long time in the bath, more heat is dissipated and the body tries to generate more heat. This way the metabolism is increased, and this is a wonderful tip for people who want to reduce weight with lymphatic drainage also. This is one of my favorite herbs. This is rose, called Gule Surkh in Unani and Persian medicine. It is a wonderful nervine tonic. It elevates moods, reduces depression. It is a Shen tonic, which means it is a tonic of heart and spirit. It erases negativity of heart and increases purity of heart. So it is it's a natural exhilarant. So you feel nice, you feel happy if rose is around. How do we use it in wellness? This is a herb which can be used in many ways. If you want to have tea, you can have dried rose petals as tea with honey. If someone is having nausea and they are vomiting again and again, rose tea, not hot, warm. Little warm rose tea is beneficial for them. If there is too much heat outside and your body is heated, take rose water, and you in a cold form, not heated. In a cold form, you can add it in cold milk. You can add it in your cold beverage, or you can simply have a rose water, distilled rose water mixed in your water. So this will create cooling effect in the body, and it will be very calming for the body. If someone is having constipation, especially if the person is old, then have the rose petals, the dried rose petals soaked in water for 2 hours. Take that water out and take 3 to 5 prunes. Heat the prunes in water, and so that they become soft and they start breaking. Mix those rose petals in that prune, mix it and make it as a paste or kind of a mixture. As they mix together, take this at night before bed. If the person is diabetic, don't add any kind of honey or sugar. But if the person is non-diabetic, then little honey can be added. This is a wonderful form of fiber, and it cleanses the body. It takes care of constipation. It takes care of lazy gut that old age happens to have, and it is very good tonic side by side. So it is antioxidant also. So it works in both. Also, rose petals dried, if you have kids and they are constipated, mix these rose petals with little honey or sugar and keep it for a day in a closed box in fridge. And after that, give them 1 spoon of it with milk. The constipation will be taken care of for the kid, and it is very tasty for kids to eat. So this is something which can be used in various ways. You can add it in your rose water can be added in biryani. Rose water can be added for eye washing. Rose water can be used for beautification of the face as a toner. It can be used as a flavoring agent in your ice creams. So this one herb, Gule Surk, is one of the best things that we have in Unani medicine. Actually, this is a herb, so it doesn't pertain to one medicine, but the applications pertain to traditional Arabic, Islamic, or Persian medicine. This wellness concept is about old age. If people who are old, they cannot digest the food and their intestines become very soft, they become lazy, and it is something called chicken broth or beet broth or cabbage broth with some aniseed or some cumin powder on top of it, works as mild laxative for them. So it is something that nourishes them, gives their bones some power, and also it cleanses the intestine. If the season that time is summer, for people who are old, figs mixed with prunes can be given. So that is also a good. So figs can be soaked and prunes can be soaked in water, and that can be eaten as laxative. So this also works in cleansing of constipation, for cleansing of intestines. If this is winter and for old people, the figs can be cooked in water. Honey is added on top of it. You can add prune also or rose petals also if you want. But this is if this is made, and you can add some nuts also if you want. So this becomes a whole nutrition. This should be taken around 7 o'clock in the evening, with little followed by a little warm water. This works very well for nutrition, for calcium, for giving them energy, and it's a very good form of fiber. So this clears the intestines very mildly, very softly, and they will feel better the next day. And as well as they will retain some energy also. So after seeing all these tips, you can use any one of them and they have amazing effect. We conclude that we are conscious. Our range of vision is widened after this episode, after this session of medicine, and our senses of responsibility has deepened. We may pass back to labor along the sick, seeing things new in new light, and we may see that the great Persian sages are better. They were aware of our shortcomings. They were aware that what will we need and to how we should use it. So if we know these things and still we don't acknowledge them, that would be for us irresponsible to say that we know, but we don't believe in this. So you try all these things and you see that how it works, and we can use this for our people. We can use this for their wellness so that their health is better, so that their wellness is achieved, and so that this day that we are celebrating a day of wellness, this day is not only for today, but this is to remember that this day should go on the whole 365 days, and every day should be a wellness day. And that will be all from my side. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Dr. Purnima, for another interesting workshop. So I hope you all enjoyed the session and have got some knowledge about traditional Arabic and Islamic medicine. It is very interesting. Here are some questions in the chat, Dr. Purnima.
Yes, please.
First question, what is the good diet to follow for weight loss?
As I already said, good nutritious diet with less of sugars, like herbs, like vegetables, boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs. These are the diet which can be followed along with cumin seeds and black seed powder. These can be added to the diet, and having high fiber diet with low sugar is a good way to start with. And then according to the body, understanding the temperament. If you are hot temperament, that depends, you can have garlics and all those spices and condiments added. So this has to be as per how your body goes. But to start with, high fiber diet with low sugars is a good idea, with lots of liquids.
Thank you, Dr. Purnima. Next question. What can we eat to get rid of constipation?
As I already said, constipation is less movement of gut and also too much absorption of water from the large intestine. So we have to hydrate ourselves first to get rid of constipation. Second, good fiber, which is either in the form of rose petal, in the form of figs, in the form of prunes, in the form of steamed vegetables is a good idea. And third factor that is very important is dryness of the intestines. If we add some oil in our diet, which is either olive oil or coconut oil, it's very beneficial for constipation. So these three together is a good idea to take care of the constipation.
Thank you. Next question, Dr. Purnima. What are some herbs for hormone imbalance?
For very good herb for or hormone imbalance is black seed powder, fenugreek powder, the fenugreek seeds. They are very good for hormone imbalance. Saffron is very good for hormone imbalance. Sage is very good for hormone imbalance. So you can make a plan where you get up in the morning and have black seeds and fenugreek seeds powder with the warm water. Then you end your day with either sage tea or saffron tea with little honey, and in mid of the day you can have cinnamon tea with either chamomile tea, chamomile flowers or hibiscus flowers. So all these three, if you do together, will slowly give you that raise and that control and equilibrium of temperaments with hormones, which will help in long run. But sage or the combination of all these three is a tested thing, and it really works well.
Thank you, Dr. Purnima. Next question. What can we do to enhance the health of colon and avoid its inflammation?
Colon health depends on what kind of your digestion is. If the digestion is weak, then and you are having too much of fibers, then colon health will be sabotaged there. So you have to see that if the digestion is weak, the food has to be soft, the fiber has to be soft, and the vegetables that you eat is to be cooked. Cooked vegetables with little bit of oil added to it, and this oil can be castor oil, it can be organic coconut oil, or it can be olive oil added to your food is very good for your whole colon health. Along with that, teas, which are warm teas, and water, hydration is very important for colon health. So these three together, you have to see your balance. But one thing I must say, people who eat too much spicy food, their colon health has to be seen. So if you want your colon health, you have to see how much spicy food you are having. So reduce on your spices, go mild on your peppers and airy products, then your colon health will be better, and eat nice fibers which are soft in nature, especially oats, quinoa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question. Which herbs are good for teenagers with irregular periods?
The herbs that are good for teenagers with irregular periods, first of them would be fenugreek seeds. This is available in market. Second of that herb is sage. Very important for teenagers because this is due to maybe PCOS, the ovulation is not regular, the periods are not regular, and there are cysts in the ovaries possible, insulin imbalance is possible. So with herbs, it should be the food that has to be taken care of. The food should be really low sugar, low carb food, and they have to exercise well with these. So sage, fenugreek seeds, black seeds, again, reducing the insulin factor is very important. Along with that, if teenagers start with having turmeric with little pepper, that works with their inflammation in the stomach, in the internal organs, that is also a good idea to start with. So they have to make a schedule. So they need to talk with the this is tip that I'm giving, but this is a matter of assessment also. We have to see what is the condition and what herbs go in. But these 4 herbs, if they want to start with, it's a good idea. They can do it.
Thank you, Dr. Purnima, for all of your answers. So we do believe we already provided our answer to all of your questions. Thank you again for all of your questions. And thank you again to Dr. Purnima. Thank you for joining us. Happy Global Wellness Day. Thank you very much.